Because we're good people. Doesn't mean we won't kill you. 5 of them aren't back in an hour. I'll put a knife in the base of your skull.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Matt back again with some spoilers, as always, for next week's episode of The Walking Dead. Spoiling the Dead coming through in the clutch, as always. So I'm going to go ahead and give them props, as always. And I'll leave a link to them in the description to them, guys, so you can check them out. Alright, this is last chance to leave if you don't want to know the spoilers. Alright, this is going to be the spoilers for the next episode on Sunday, which is called Knots Untie. Alright, it says, Jesus tells the gang about the Hilltop Colony and hopes to establish diplomatic bonds between the communities for trading. And it says he notices that Alexandria runs low on food but has a lot of armory. A group heads off with him to check it out. The group includes Rick, Michonne, Glenn, Maggie, Daryl, and Abraham. On their way, they notice an overturned car at a gas station or something. Jesus says the car belongs to his community and he wants to check for survivors. It says, we don't have many fighters. The others suspect that it might be a trap. Check inside the station anyway and pick up 4 alive and more or less well after killing some walkers. One of the saved guys mentions that in a caravan that he's a doctor, specifically a gynecologist, after he learns that Maggie is pregnant. They arrive at the hilltop and the saved people help to establish some trust and get them in, since the guards only have spears anyway, no guns, or more specifically, no bullets left. They bring the gang to their leader, Gregory, who immediately turns out to be an arrogant asshole who tells the group condescendingly to clean themselves up before they talk. Maggie attempts to make a deal, trading food for armory and medicine, but Gregory isn't having any of it, and condescending again, he repeatedly calls her Natalie, demands that they work for their food and no deal is made. Says later another hilltop group arrives, obviously decimated. Gregory wonders where the rest of the group is. One of them, Ethan, answers that they were killed by Negan and that he was ordered by the Saviors to send a message to the fellow Hilltop folks that Negan leaves his brother Craig alive, who was captured. Ethan proceeds to stab Gregory, which is the message. A fight ensues. Rick kills the attacker. Abraham is almost choked to death. Everybody calms down again, and Gregory is wounded but alive. Jesus explains that the Saviors are a group of violent marauders who regularly demand resources for the community's safety. Daryl mentions that they killed a bunch of the Saviors quite easily and proclaims that Negan is a bluffer and that they would take care of him. Later, Maggie has another talk with the recovering Gregory and turns the tables on him. She professes that her group knows how to deal with guys like the Saviors. She offers to save the captured guy and get rid of the Saviors, but demands half of the Hilltop's resources as a trade. Gregory has no other choice but to agree. There's a subplot involving Abraham throughout the episode where he apparently still struggles with his PTSD and wonders if it's possible for him to settle down and have a family. He asks Glenn and Maggie if they think it'll work out with their child. They answer yes. He obviously wonders which woman is the ideal partner to settle down. The episode begins with him and Sasha returning from patrolling. He's flirting with her, but she tells him that she changed her shift with Eugene and will now be his partner. Later, he's in bed with Rosita, but thinks about Sasha. At the end of the episode, after he was almost choked to death, he apparently comes to the conclusion that settling down and raising a family in this world is not an option for him. The episode ends with another demand from Maggie. She demands an ultrasound. They have the devices at the hilltop, and the group looks at the pictures of the unborn child emotionally while driving back to Alexandria. It says, no sightings of Carol, Morgan, Tara, Eugene, Gabriel, or any of the other Alexandrians this episode. It says Denise has a brief scene with Daryl where she gives him a self-made cake as a traveling fare. And it says, Daryl says, I hope it tastes better than it looks. It looks like shit. So it sounds like it's gonna be a pretty cool episode. We're gonna be officially introduced to the Hilltop Colony, and so that should be very interesting. And like I said, can't wait to see it play out on the screen. And I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it.
Welcome to Woodbury.